Welcome, everybody, to the AIVERSE with the monthly roundup of all things artificial intelligence and metaverse for the month of August 2024. And in today's episode, I'll be sharing with you Figure 2, which is Figure's updated humanoid robot. So previously there was Figure 1 and obviously Figure 2, very basic. We'll also take a look at a new AI companion called Friend, as well as some other minor developments that have been happening with artificial intelligence. And to be honest, nothing really new in the metaverse for this particular month. So with that, OpenAI backed startup Figure teases new humanoid robot, Figure 2. So this is a big investment, 675 million in its last round in February. So it's backed by OpenAI. And I'm going to have a look at this trailer in just a minute. So these updates is basically heavy on vibes and close-ups, but not really a lot on what it's actually doing. So talking about possibly flexible mesh design for the robot body and labels for torque ratings and Newton meters, or the torque produced by a force of 1 Newton applied. Okay, yep, we don't really know what that is, to be honest. So it's backed by big names in tech and AI. And as I've been talking about on this channel for quite some time, the competition to crack the humanoid robotics intensifies. So this is a big market. This is a market that many big companies are in, and the one who can get it as mostly anthropomorphic as possible is going to be the one that's going to succeed first, in my opinion. And of course, obviously, if the scale of the production is in such a way where the cost is really radically reduced, because obviously you've got companies like Tesla who are also rivaling this with Optimus, which I've shown in previous videos here. So with that, let's actually have a look at this little video. So I'm just going to quickly just reshare this screen, so there shouldn't be any issues with the quality. Oh man, look at those hands. One of the biggest features. The upgrade from O1 to O2. See some of that mesh design on the neck. Face is awesome too. Have a look at those fingers. You can see the way that they move is still a little bit, yeah. They're getting there, but they've got some ways to go. They really need to be moving just like humans. If they want to perform the tasks like humans, they really need to be as close to human as possible. All right. Short and sweet. What did you guys think of that? Any comments? The fingers are really cool. You can really see the legs, though, the feet, the way that it moves. There's no toes, and the whole toe, the heel, the ball of the foot also really is what allows the human to balance and allows us to have that flexibility in doing things and maneuvering. So I think the robots at the moment, the upgrading on the fingers is really good, because that's where a lot of the majority of the tasks are going to come from. But the way that it actually moves from A to B is going to really be determined by what they do with the legs. And you can really see the structure of the bodies a little bit. It is anthropomorphized, but it's a little bit, yeah, the structure of it is a little bit clunky. You can see that the way that it kind of stands is a little bit a little bit abstract. So it'll be very interesting to see how those things continue to develop. And this is something that I'm very, very interested in. I know Elon Musk was talking about having Optimus as basically just like a few thousand. So yeah, I mean, if you can, I'll tell you what, if we get loaded, I'll definitely get like a robot for around the place just to experiment with it. If it ends up being like, I don't know, 10 grand or something, that's really not all that bad. So, I mean, it will be cheaper than a car, I would imagine. So very, very cool to see how the future is going to update there and what they can actually do. And so with that, now let's take a look at this. So your new AI friend is almost ready to meet you. So a new AI startup isn't trying to help you get things done or remember everything. It's trying to be there for you all the time, however you need it. So the AI friend is here to alleviate loneliness. So a few minutes here. So this AI companion called Friends. So this Emily is not human. So I have spoken about, obviously, ChatGPT, having conversations with ChatGPT. I've spoken about that in previous videos. I've also spoken about Rabbit, so the little Rabbit device as well. I've spoken about that in previous videos. And that was a little bit of a flop, apparently. So a lot of the pre-sales were going really, really well, but it hasn't really picked up since then. So a lot of people have been picking up the devices, but since then it hasn't really taken off. So Schiffman defines friend both by what it is and what it is very deliberately not. The original idea was to be more productivity orientated. So it's meant to proactively remind you of information and tasks, but Schiffman is done with that approach. He now speaks of work-focused AI products like Microsoft's all-seeing recall with some derision, and even thinks Humane's wildly ambitious AI pin is pointed in the wrong direction. No one is going to beat Apple or OpenAI at building Javas, he says. That's just ridiculous. So he thinks that it's going to be too hard to compete in that area. So now he's coming up with something a little bit different. So friend is not a way to get more done or augment or enhance anything. It's a friend, an AI friend that can go with you anywhere, experience things with you, and just be there with you all the time. It's very supportive, very validating. It'll encourage your ideas, Schiffman says. It's also super intelligent. It's a great brainstorming buddy. You can talk to it about relationships and things like that. So this is really cool. I don't know how many people have been using their mobile with the ChatGPT feature, or where you can actually talk to it. I find that very useful, but I also find it a little bit tricky sometimes, because I want to be like, for example, listening to music and also using the app, but I have to kind of use one or the other, and I have to just like stay focused on just listening to the dude talk. So I kind of like the idea of something that's a little bit separated, where it can actually be like a companion. And I think this is a really, really powerful idea. It's going to be very interesting though. Like there's still, even though it sounds like you're talking to a person, there's always in the back of your mind that it's not, there is no deep inherent human to human connection. The connection that you get from another person, that connection on the energetic level, you don't get that with AI. So I think it can never really truly be a friend. I think it's a modest idea. It's a cool idea, but yeah, I think it's going to fulfill certain aspects of loneliness. But all in all, I don't really think it's capable of being a true friend. But that's just my opinion, and I certainly hope to be proven wrong, because loneliness is becoming very much an epidemic around the world. So okay, so on to the next one. So, Anthropics AI Secrets. So just something a little bit cool. So they've basically released how they do their system prompts to teach its range of chatbots. So this is something that's been top secret in the past, and they've really started to open up about this. And so hopefully you'll also start to get some of the other companies opening up about it and getting some kind of cross-pollination, because if there is some kind of cross-pollination, yes, they'll have their own little secret ingredients, but it will be really cool if the ideas become blended and you get this like perfected LLM. So something that's very cool here, just a little, I'll put all these links down below, by the way. So learn by doing. So guided interactive solving that's effective and fun. Master concepts in 15 minutes. So basically this is all about learning how to use and understand artificial intelligence by playing these little games. So I think this is very cool. Obviously, people all learn differently. Some people like to read, some people are visual, some people like to feel things, and they're very tactile. We all have different styles of learning. So this is just another style of learning, and learning by doing. So this is very, very cool. I haven't actually personally experimented with it, but I will experiment with it, I think, on a daily basis, just kind of do a little task here and there just to see if I can learn anything. But super, super cool. So very, very cool little presentation as well. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below. So BeyondMath, I'm always intrigued by these kinds of things. So BeyondMath, Digital Wind Tunnel puts a physics-based AI simulation to work on F1 cars. So utilizing artificial intelligence to basically simulating the real world is basically simulating the real world is a tremendously complex problem if you want to do it at any useful level of fidelity. Traditional techniques are holding back design teams at vehicle and aerospace companies, but BeyondMath is putting AI on the task with a new way of simulating the world that could save them days or weeks of waiting. So basically simulating what it's like to move through time and space with different kind of wind conditions by utilizing the power of AI. And through that process, they'll actually be able to refine the F1 cars. And this is obviously just one example of how you can use this kind of technology. You could do it for normal vehicles, you could do it for planes, you could do it for all kinds of vehicles. So very, very cool to see how AI is being utilized. Now, I'm a big fan of this type of stuff. Always have been. So the ChatGPT for coding is here. Now kids are building apps with Cursor. 10 must-see examples. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm just going to reshare this so we can actually get a good video quality without being interrupted with my face. So create apps on your phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play this little video here because this is super cool. So creating apps, again, this democratizes the process of coding, and coding is very profound because coding is like, it's language. When you understand coding, and I'm not saying I understand coding, I understand the very basics of coding, but when you understand coding, it's like coding is it's just language. So it's like, oh, once you understand the structure of coding, there's a lot of things that have that kind of structure. Everything in the universe has that kind of structure, including like the human mind. So it's really just your mind is just like a robot that's programmed from the life that you've lived, the habits in the body. And so when you can actually do these types of things, I'm very bullish on those kinds of ideas because I always have ideas for apps and things, but I don't have the time or the ability to do the coding. I'm very basic coding knowledge, but you can actually use ChatGPT to assist you with coding, and it's better at coding in particular types of languages. So some kind of coding languages it's not good at, and some kind of languages it's really good at. And I have actually had a friend share with me some ways that you can use ChatGPT, and it helped me build a little auto trader for cryptocurrency, which was really cool. So like a little bot that I just press play and then it will do the automatic trading for me. So that was really cool. And I used artificial intelligence. I used ChatGPT for that. So these are the kinds of things that anyone can start to do now. So the more that these things become democratized, the better. So again, I'll leave this link below so you guys can have a look at all this, but let's have a look at how someone might be able to create an app just by using their phone.
Okay, let's create an exercise app where I can add exercises and then track sets of reps and wait for them.
Here we go. So just with a prompt, let's create an exercise app where I can add exercises and then track sets of reps and wait for them. Wow. So I'm not sure if on the left here, this is the actual.
Let's make it so that you can easily repeat a set. So there's just a repeat button next to the line item for each set.
So the key in all of this is the way that you actually communicate with it. And that is the magic of prompt engineering. You actually need to know how to communicate with it. It's like driving a car. You can't drive a car without pressing the accelerator. It's the same thing with prompt engineering. You need to be able to say it in the right kinds of sequences to get the right kind of output. Look at this. So the app's just being created.
For some reason, there always has to be a prefix of 0 on each number. I don't know why I can't delete that.
And the way that you're communicating with this particular application is very, very different to ChatGPT. It seems more natural. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it certainly seems more natural for me. Wow.
Let's pre-fill the new reps and weights for each new set that you add from the last set that you did.
Okay, Super cool. All right, let's have a look at one more because that was freaking sweet. So build a game in minutes for begin. Oh, okay. All right.
AI, no experience necessary, no programming knowledge necessary. You'll be able to take this game, put it on the internet, sell it to anyone you want, start making money, and build your own online business. Let's get into it. Boom, I'm over here now. Okay, application of AI I ever used, free. Make a folder wherever you want, possible. So, and that will make it work. Right? I'm not using any code, anything technical here. I'm saying, hey, pretty.
I just want to see what he's actually produced with it and how he actually gets his coding. So how difficult is it? See, obviously the coding is like, oh, I don't know coding, but if it's as simple as prompts. Oh, bugger. Damn. All right, we got a little lag on that one. So easy Chrome extension, financial dashboard, cursor. Okay, let's just leave it at that because it seems like it's bugged out, but I'm going to leave the link there at 16 minutes. So you guys can feel free to take a look at that. So super cool, super cool, super bullish. And yeah, the more that you can learn about this kind of stuff, the better. And, as if you're an entrepreneur, like you can really leverage AI to, I mean, they talk about these days, the next mega entrepreneurs are going to be like billion-dollar companies with like one person in there, and that one person is just going to be using artificial intelligence to do everything. So that's like, wow, super cool. So nothing really with metaverse, so we're going to get straight into like the investing side of things in this segment now. So I wanted to just drop this link. I'll drop this link here. So this gives you 2 times a week for free glimpses into the future of tech. So this can help you keep up to date with the kind of patterns that are happening in artificial intelligence. So if you keep an eye on this, so have a look at this. Meta's eye authentication system keeps metaverse data safe. So there's all these different patterns that basically, if you want to stay in tune with the world of artificial intelligence and metaverse, this would be something cool to actually keep your eye on and just read it once a week, twice a week. So, okay. Now, first of all of crypto stinks. So this is just the last 7 days. Everything is down. Everything is down. Everything is trending down. So everything is trending down everywhere. So nothing much has really happened in terms of. So this is all the AI related stuff. Nothing has really happened. Everything's going down. There was a little run in July, middle of July. Everything had a little bit of a run. So we went from 11 cents. So this basically had a 2x. PAL also very similar, peaked towards the middle to end of July. Numeraire also had one, but slightly different. But now they're downtrending again. So they're downtrending again. And, again, it's downtrending, but also it's creating higher lows. So this is the yearly. It's creating higher lows on the yearly with Atropa Pt I, for example. And Atropa Pt I is just, I consider it to be a bit of a meme. So, but this is not looking too healthy as a chart, but also it's looking like it's getting to seller's exhaustion. But again, you look at the all-time high and it's just like, what do you got? 6, 7x. That's actually, it's phenomenal, but it's very underwhelming in terms of cryptocurrency. So Numeraire has been trending down essentially all year, so that's a bit of a stinker. So yeah, artificial intelligence is not really doing all that much. So there you go. That's it. So what do you guys think? Any comments? Any feedback? What did you guys like? Figure 2, I think it's super cool. I'm definitely keeping my eye on the coding stuff. It's a very interesting phenomenon because it's actually very, very simple. I had my friend shared with me that basically he had no coding experience, and within a year, he's been showing me some of the things that he's been building just through ChatGPT, and I'm really impressed. He's doing some awesome stuff, and he's been teaching me a little bit as well. So I won't mention his name. I don't think he wants to be doxxed, but you really can go far with this. So from no coding experience to basically he built a dApp. So he built a decentralized exchange for Pulse Chain. That's phenomenal. So he built a decentralized exchange just by using ChatGPT. So that's pretty phenomenal. That's wild. So I'm very excited by that. I did dabble into it. And admittedly, I was doing way too many things as it was, but I really wanted to dip my toes into this. So I started to dip my toes into it, but I was like, this is way too much. This is way, way too much. So I ended up just doing way too much. And then I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I can't do any of this stuff because there's like just too much going on. So yeah, very, very cool. So I'm very excited about that. And I am definitely looking forward to wanting to do that in the future. But it's like, man, there's always too many things to do, and this is just another thing where, again, you can leverage AI, but if you really want to get good at it, obviously it's just like anything, the more time that you put into it, the better that you're going to get at it. So with that, that is the AIVERSE monthly roundup of August 2024. We'll see you next month. Oh, actually, you know what, September there may or may not be one, and neither for October. I might end up doing one in Actually, there may be one for October where I do September and October all together because things are really starting to slow down. I didn't do one for July either because there really wasn't much. So with that, take care. See you later.